Hi there, this is Giovanni here at Frap and we're doing some more live patching today, but first let's check what we will come up with over the next 20 minutes or so. Okay, so we picked 3 random techniques from our website. They are picked at random every time you refresh the techniques page, and they suggest us 3 techniques that I want to incorporate. I'm gonna incorporate in a patch, and I'm gonna build a patch around them. So we have Integrator number 2, the Quadrature drones, and the gate variations. Let us start with the Integrator number 2 patch. I want to set up a sequence and use both brainsaw oscillator in sync, in flip sync, and then I'm going to use the integrator to add some sync sweep, automatic sync sweeps to the patch. So I'm gonna speed up the video until I compose the sequence, and then I will meet you back here. Okay, so now I have this sequence. I patched the yellow oscillator on one channel and the green generator in flip sync mode to the other. And I can crossfade between them because I set the channel to crossfade mode. And now, if I increase the integration time like this, I can obtain those sync sweeps. And that was easy. Now I need to do now I need to incorporate another technique, and I may need to rearrange the patch that I just made, because I need to use the FALISTRI in Quadrature mode. So I can no longer use this envelope here as my main envelope, so I can instead use the integrator, which is something that I usually do. I mean, it's not as precise as having a dedicated envelope, but it does the job. Now, so with the Quadrature drone, I set FALISTRI in Quadrature mode. So I need to set the green generator to hold mode, and then I can engage the Quadrature mode. So now whenever I trigger the yellow generator, the 4 stages become interconnected. So the end of one triggers the beginning of the other, and so on. And the 2 envelopes are chained together. Now, if I were to pick the max output, I can shape some complex envelopes through that, but I can also use the 2 envelopes independently and play with the rhythmic connection that the times of the first have over the times of the seconds. So I'm gonna set the yellow generator to loop mode so that it will retrig itself, but instead of retriggering itself at the end of its cycle, it will retrig once the green generator has reached the end of fall stage, which is the last digital signal of the Quadrature mode. And this creates 2 LFOs that I can use, for example, in this technique, to modulate the amplitude of the odd and the even bands of FUMANA. And so I need to patch a signal, which for now can be the final output, brainsaw's final output, but we may need to adjust this technique to accommodate also the other. And I will patch the odd output to one channel and the even output to another. Let me adjust the levels. Okay. So now I need to take the unipolar output of this envelope and use it to modulate the odd band, and this one to modulate the even band. See? This creates this slow and resonant tone, which might not pair well with the sequence I just made, which is this one. Or is it? Well, I am quite surprised by the fact that it kind of sounds good, honestly. I was a bit concerned that this would have sounded almost like just thrown in just for the sake, but I have to say that it adds a very deep texture, so I think I'm gonna take it. It's gonna be probably easier than I imagined, this technique. And then I have another technique, which is the gate variation. And basically we are playing with the gate variation index and the range. We are I'm gonna stick with track 1 for now, but what happens is that now if I can have longer gates or shorter gates independently per stage. Some stages can be longer, some stages can be shorter, but I can also set the stages to green mode where every stage can output more than gates in its stage length, more than one gate. For this kind of patch, I think I'm gonna stick with the blue layer. I'm gonna keep the envelope very snappy, and I'm gonna set the gate duration for all the stages somewhere near the half. And then I want to set the variation index and the range for some stages, which can be, for example, let's see, these 4 and these 4. And I'm going to increase also the variation index. Oh, sorry, this one. I'm going to increase also the variation range. So only those 4 stages might change their duration and might introduce some pauses. And I can even play with some other stages, like this one. I can reduce the variation index, so the probability that those stages might change their value, and also the variation range, so how long or short can the subsequent gate be. Now, I may also want to set the stage in the green mode, and add the variation index of variation range of 1 and the variation and a high variation index, but I think it's too fast, this sequence, for this kind of ratcheting effect, so I'm gonna stick to the blue one and remove any variation whatsoever from this stage. Let's see now how it sounds like mixed with the Quadrature drone. It's not too bad. Yeah, I like it. I think that we can cap it here for today. The patch is very simple in terms of harmony and melody, but it is very complex in terms of modulation and interconnection. So I hope you found this video useful. If you want to explore the same idea based on the same random techniques, I will link to them in the description. Feel free to tape your performance and tag us with the Frap Ideas hashtag. I'll be happy to take a look at what you came up with. And I will see you next time.